What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another banger for you, my people. Continuing with our college women's basketball team previews. We got LSU up next. With no further ado, y'all kick back, relax, and take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
There is a lot of expectations, and this is a very highly anticipated season for LSU due to what they did in the transfer portal and the number one recruiting class in the country coming in, man. Now, a lot of questions are being asked about Fulwiley, who's going to be the starting point guard for this group. So we'll talk about the team, but let's look at the schedule so far. Now, we know, no disrespect LSU, but Coach Kim Mulkey is notorious for scheduling a bit of a softer, better lack of words, cupcake non-conference schedule, and we're seeing much of the same so far, but we don't have the entire schedule yet, so we're just going over what we have so far. As y'all can see, they got the first game that we see is November 6th on this schedule, Southeastern Louisiana. Now, it is a step up. They've got Duke, who is tougher than any non-conference opponent for the most part that they played last year. You also have another in-state rival with New Orleans coming to town as well. And then they round it out. Well, that's it. They round it out with New Orleans. And then it goes straight to SEC play. Now, they've got Kentucky at home, Vandy on the road without Camille Pierre, Georgia on the road. Texas at home is a big one. Circle that on your calendars. When you look at the top of the SEC, we're thinking Texas, we're thinking South Carolina, we're thinking LSU, we're thinking Tennessee. We're thinking potentially Ole Miss as well in that group. And don't sleep on Oklahoma, who brings in a very, very talented freshman in Leah Chavez. And I'm excited to see how she pairs with Peyton Verhulst. You got Texas, you got OU, speaking of them, on the road. Texas A&M on the road. Then you got Florida, Arkansas, and Alabama all at the PMAC. They played Texas twice, which is something we didn't see in the regular season. So they got them the second time, February 5th, I should say, at Texas. Big matchup there. And then at home this year, man, circle it, February 14th, South Carolina. Then they followed up on the road, Ole Miss. Now, we know it has been quite some time since this program got a win over South Carolina, but the closest was the last time they played at the PMAC, and it's a tough environment in LSU, man. No easy wins in the Bayou. South Carolina goes on the road, so this could be a potential deciding game right here in the SEC championship race. It's definitely going to have some implications if all goes according to plan for both these programs. You got Ole Miss, Coach Yo, Cody McMahon, and a rejuvenated Ole Miss squad. Mizzou, Tennessee, bringing in a very talented class. Jersey Wolfenbarger, one of the former LSU Tigers, jumped ship to Tennessee, seeing her former team, and then Mississippi State rounds it out. Now, like I said, we don't know the entire non-conference schedule, but this is a favorable schedule, man. You get SC at home, you get Texas at home for the first matchup. Tough matchup against Tennessee, but you get some games in between. And we'll see. We'll see. Now, the starting lineup projected from what I've seen, and I honestly don't agree with this, but this is one source that I saw, 94 feet, a women's basketball LSU Outlook. Kaylin Gilbert, KG coming back, who showed some flashes of excellence last season scoring the basketball at the one. Michaela Williams has a chance to be in that national championship running. One of the best mid-range scorers, probably their most consistent player alongside Blasi Johnson last year. No disrespect to Nisa Morrow. Honestly, I'm going to say that Nisa Morrow was definitely the most consistent player. Michaela Williams completely took over games when this offense looked flat at times, and I think she makes a big, big leap in her junior year. And we continue to see her hunt her shots, taking big shots, being able to make big shots, being able to make contested shots and create space. She one-on-one, she gets you on that island, forget about it. Blasi Johnson battled some injuries. There was some talk, some buzz of her potentially going to the WNBA, but she comes back. They've got her at the 3. Big 4, looking to see more playmaking ability from her. I honestly think we can see her at some running the point guard at sometimes with this group as well, with her court vision, with her transition, being able to get downhill and put pressure on the defense. Amaya Joyner, the transfer from ECU, covered her in high school. I think she has all first-team SEC potential, man. When you talk about a versatile forward, point forward, who can bring the ball up the court, who can grab the ball off the glass and really start the break. She's experienced, she's the most experienced player on this roster. And she comes in with size, with length, with playmaking ability, with the ability to put the ball on the floor and take defenders off the dribble. She can finish through contact. Really nice mid-range game. Excited to see her and these guards run the pick and roll. Kate Koval could be the X factor for this group, man. 6'5", a big center that they did not have last year. A potential to lead this team in rebounding, to plug the paint, to defend the rim. They need an anchor down low. This team looking for her for dump offs, easy finishes, and I think we saw some potential. We saw some flashes with her at Notre Dame last season. Like, we saw some flashes. I definitely got to give her that. Um, but the skill set is there. She can shoot it. She's a really good passer out of the post, playmaking ability, uses her size well, and is mobile to be that size. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's got a solid frame. She's all of 6'5", 6'6", and I think she could provide some rim protection and a force in the paint that LSU hasn't had in the last couple of years. Now, the big key with someone to prove, man, Malaysia Fulwiley. She is going to be potentially another X factor. I don't know if we could see her starting at the point guard position. I know some people said that's what they tried with Haley Van Lith, putting a more of a two-guard, a scoring guard in that system, trying to run the one, and it didn't work out. But we saw Haley Van Lith go to TCU and prove that she could run the one. So maybe Malaysia Fulwiley just needs an opportunity to really work on that playmaking ability. I honestly, too, Jada Richard kind of deep down on that key players. I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up being the starting point guard for this group, man. She's probably got the best. She's probably the one of the only, I give DeBella Hans too, but one of the only pure pass first point guards on this roster that can run this team, that can shoot the three, that can get to the cup, that has shown that she is not afraid to be aggressive and call her own number. But she's a player that can really be the key to the ignition at the point guard position, initiating offense, being that coach on the floor, pushing the pace, and just getting all these scores to basketball, really distributing. I could definitely see her leading this team in assists, man. So do not sleep on Jada Richard. I think she's more of a point guard than Kayla Gilbert. KG's more of a scorer as well in her own right, and kind of was a turnover machine at times last season. So I don't know if you're truly ready to hand the keys over to her in this offense. She can be kind of careless with the basketball. I trust Jada Richard a little bit more with the keys to the house. I'm just saying. Malaysia Fulwiley, still interested to see how she fits in this lineup. If they play fast, and her skill set will cater to that. She's one of the most electrifying players in the country. They will have one of the deepest and most productive backcourts, along with Malaysia Fulwiley, Zakia Johnson, Devon Burge, two freshmen that I think can come in and provide immediate scoring. Burge really in that Malaysia Fulwiley mode of just great handle, can get anywhere she wants on the court. Johnson, bigger guard, deep range, can defend multiple positions, and really is just a big wing for this group. More so like Michaela Williams, where she is not going to blow you away with athleticism, but can get to her spots, consistent jump shot, and can finish through contact as well and get to her spots just by changing pace and with the fundamentals. Don't sleep on Bella Hines. And also, man, depending on if they go small some nights, man, Grace Knox could end up being the starting four for this group with a Maya Joyner at the 5 if Kate Cobalt doesn't pan out or is slow to really take production and advantage of the minutes that she gets. They have the ceiling as a Final Four, floor as a Sweet 16. If Coach Kim Mulkey gets the most out of this group, I absolutely think they have a chance to compete and win a national championship. There's going to be a lot of scoring options with this team, man. And I think if you're not going to be able to slow them down in transition, if you're not going to have good perimeter defenders, LSU is going to absolutely light you up. And there's not many teams that's going to be able to score with this team. I could definitely see them being one of the top scoring teams easily, leading the SEC in scoring next season. They've got to get the monkey off their back with South Carolina. I think last season we saw them plug holes with Band-Aids. And this season, there's a lot of upgraded talent. There was a lot of players for LSU last season getting free rides, man. I got to be honest. You lose Jersey Wolfenbarger, some other players off this roster that were really, really just getting a free ride. I like Wolfenbarger, but it wasn't going to work out. They had a lot of players that really weren't contributing. Shine Wilson kind of was up and down with this group as well. Like, it was just a lot of Band-Aids, man. But this season, they have really upgraded the roster with the number one recruiting class, on top of hitting 2 home runs, in my opinion, with Joyner and Kate Koval upgrading that front court. You lose Samaya. That's tough. That's tough. But at the same time, man, we knew that replacements were going to come in and it was going to be just cleaning up house of sorts. We knew Coach Kim Mulkey was frustrated with this roster, and she did a lot to upgrade it through the recruiting portal, through the transfer portal, and on the recruiting trail. I'm excited to see LSU, man. This group could be special. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Until next time, my people, we